welcome to Dinner and a Tip. My name is Brenda and I will be your cooking guide. So yesterday we did some amazing lobster rolls, but I have brioche bread left over and I don't want this to go to waste because groceries are so expensive now. So we are going to make this into French toast bites, and I'm even going to make some homemade syrup to go with this. I'm using blueberries today, but you could use raspberries, strawberries, anything you want. So I'm going to start with 1 cup of blueberries or any fruit that you like. I'm going to go with 1/3 cup of water. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some vanilla and almond. This is going to be about a teaspoon each. Oh, breaking the seal on this one. We go through a lot of vanilla and almond here. So got that. And we have got the almond. Next I'm going to do a couple teaspoons of honey. The honey is an option, but I actually just really like the taste of the honey. So we're going to go ahead and add that in. We're going to go ahead and do a 1/3 cup of sugar to this and some ground cinnamon. This is probably about a 1/2 teaspoon, and we're going to go ahead and give that a quick mix here. So we just want the blueberries to kind of boil and kind of break down. If you want it really smooth, you want to go ahead and mash these, but for me, I actually want this to be a little bit more on the chunkier side, so it's going to look like that. So now that's starting to steam and cook up a little bit. We're going to go ahead. Actually, we spilled some sugar on the grill, so we want to go ahead and just kind of push that off. Otherwise, we're going to be cooking some sugar. So next, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of nutmeg. This is probably like 1/2 teaspoon. These spices are optional. I just like that it gives it a little bit of extra taste. So got that, and we're going to go ahead and add some cornstarch to this. So the cornstarch is what's going to help make it thicken up a little bit. We're going to rest our eggs in the bread. And when you're working with cornstarch, you want to do water first, add the cornstarch, and then you're going to want to mix it up. The cornstarch is what actually helps thicken the sauce up, or the syrup that you're doing. So if you go ahead and put this cornstarch in just straight in there, you're going to have a problem because it's going to get really clumpy and you can't get those clumps out. We're going to add a little extra water to this. We want to have this cornstarch to be more liquefied before we put it in. So we've got a nice liquid there, and that's going to be our thickening agent for this. So you can already smell the cinnamon and the vanilla with these blueberries, and that is great. So next, let's go start with our French toast. So my French toast, how I do it, I've got 2 cups of milk. You could use heavy creamer if you want to have like something flavored. So we're going to go ahead and drop those in. I'm going to do probably a 1/3 cup, probably less than a 1/3 cup. I'll go ahead and update that in there. I do actually add a little bit of honey to mine. This is probably just like a 1/2 teaspoon, just to give it a little extra flavor. And we're going to go ahead and hit it with some cinnamon. I'm going to go recover my dropped almond over here. I'm a bit of a train wreck in the kitchen. It's a little messy, but it all turns out good at the end of the day. So I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of almond. And then I have an immersion blender that I like to use. My kids get really weirded out if you have any like white egg stuff. So if you use an immersion blender or a mixer and get it mixed up, you won't have that issue. All right, we are good to go there. Let's clean up our station here a little bit. All right, next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this bread up into squares. when they're the brioche buns, they already come pre-cut. So we're gonna just cut down the middle and cut down the sides. The nice thing about this is if you make these and the kids don't eat them all, you can refreeze this stuff and you can go ahead and microwave them or hit them in the air fryer and they'll taste good as new. So we're just gonna go ahead and take our French toast mix. And you just want to have it in a shallow pan that's got sides so it doesn't ooze all over. We're going to go ahead, I'm going to turn this down a little bit and I'm going to check on our sauce. So our sauce is starting to thicken up a little bit and the blueberries are getting ready to pop, and that's okay if they pop. They're just going to be that much better on the flavor. So when I'm trying to put all of this down, because I still have to dip everything, I like to kind of turn it down to low and then I can turn it up to high when I have a moment. So we're going to go ahead and hit, when I'm cooking French toast or anything breakfast, I prefer butter versus using any oil. So you want to just do a quick dip on both sides. Got that nice sizzle, so the grill is obviously nice and hot. You can use this with like leftover like French bread. We've got some Italian bread left over, so we'll be making French toast out of a couple different things. But today, I want to use up this brioche bread. And then once these are done, we're going to go ahead and hit it with some cinnamon and sugar to get all the awesomeness out of here. So, all right, we got that done. Now this stuff cooks quick, so once you get it down, it's almost time to like go ahead and do a flip on these guys. So let's start over here. And I'm just gonna cheat, I'm using my hands because it's not that hot today, but there we go. You can see these have already gotten such a beautiful brown from being on the Blackstone. And these are not going to take very long to cook, that's for sure. So you want to make sure you start with your syrup ahead of time. All right. So now that these are cooking and they're cooked on one side, I'm going to go ahead and hit this with some cinnamon and sugar ahead of time. And this is just a mix of cinnamon and sugar all together. So give our blueberries a quick turn. And actually we're going to add a little extra water to these guys because it got a little thick, which is good. But look at how perfect that looks right now. So we're just going to go ahead and set this off to the side. Alright, so our French toast is coming along perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick flip, give these another couple seconds while I go ahead and hit these other sides with some cinnamon and sugar. And I can already smell my kids' favorite thing is breakfast for dinner. So, and if you haven't tried almond and vanilla in your French toast, you really should. It just kicks it up to that next flavor of perfectness as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to go ahead, a little bit more cinnamon, a little bit more sugar on all of these. And you can either serve this just with regular syrup or how I'm doing with the blueberries. I'm going to steal one of these guys off here. I'm going to put some of this beautiful blueberries. Look how awesome that looks. And I did shut the grill off, so I'm not going to keep cooking or burning these guys over here. Well, I go ahead and try this. The blueberry stuff, that syrup, it's nice, it's thick. I can taste the cinnamon. I can taste the nutmeg. This is going to be an amazing breakfast for dinner. Go ahead and subscribe and see what we're cooking next time.